The Sicilian defense Nussdorf variation English attack appears on the board as Sankalp, Gupta and Nurgaliyev battle it out in Asian Individual Chess Championships 2025 Open Round 6. On e4. On c5. Knight f3. On d6. On d4. Threatening pawn takes c5. Pawn takes d4 played by Nurgaliyev. Knight takes d4. Knight f6. Knight c3. Pawn a6. We are now in the Sicilian defense Nussdorf variation English attack. Bishop e3. Pawn e5. Threatening pawn takes d4. Knight b3 played by Sankalp, Gupta. Bishop e6. Queen d2. Knight bd7. King castled queenside. Bishop e7. On f4. On b5. On h3. Rook c8. On f5. Threatening pawn takes e6. Bishop c4 played by Nurgaliyev. On g4. On h6. Queen g2. Think carefully what is the best move for Nurgaliyev. Bishop takes f1 is the correct move because Rook takes f1. On b4. Knight d5. Knight takes d5. Pawn takes d5. Bishop g5. Nurgaliyev have small advantage shifting to the main variation. Queen g2. Queen c7 slightly worse move played by Nurgaliyev. Bishop takes c4 it is novelty move. Pawn takes c4. Knight d2. Sankalp Gupta intends to play. On h4. On d5. Pawn takes d5 and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook b8 played by Nurgaliyev. On h4. Queen b7. Threatening queen takes b2 mate. Knight takes c4 played by Sankalp Gupta. Queen b4. Threatening queen takes c4. Queen e2 played by Sankalp Gupta. Sankalp Gupta is looking to play. On g5. Rook c8. Pawn takes f6 and secure a stronghold in the game. Rook c8 played by Nurgaliyev. Threatening queen takes c4. Knight d2 played by Sankalp Gupta. Sankalp Gupta's idea is to play. On g5. Knight h5. Pawn a3. Queen b7. Queen takes h5 and establish a winning position. Rook takes c3 played by Nurgaliyev. Pawn takes c3. Queen takes c3. Queen d3. Queen a1 check. Knight b1. Pause the video and find the best move for Nurgaliyev. Knight takes g4 is best move here because Rook dg1. Knight df6. King d2. Queen takes a2. Knight c3. Queen a5 position is equal. Let's analyze the main line. Knight b1. Sankalp Gupta is aiming to play. King d2. Queen takes a2. Knight c3. Queen a5. Rook a1. Queen d8. On g5. Knight g4. Pawn takes h6, and take decisive advantage. King castled kingside slightly worse move played by Nurgaliyev. King d2. Rook c8. Pawn g5 stop here, and find the strongest move for Nurgaliyev. Pawn d5 is a strong choice, since pawn takes f6. Knight takes f6. Pawn takes d5. Queen takes a2. Pawn d6. Bishop takes d6. Still Nurgaliyev is losing, shifting to the main line. Pawn g5. Knight g4 is a mistake played by Nurgaliyev. Knight a3. Queen c3 check. Queen takes c3. Rook takes c3. King takes c3. Knight takes e3. Rook d3. Threatening rook takes e3. Knight g4 played by Nurgaliyev. Rook b1. Knight f2. Rook b7. Knight takes e4 check. King c4. Threatening rook takes d7. Knight ec5 played by Nurgaliyev. Threatening knight takes b7. Rook takes d7 played by Sankalp Gupta. Knight takes d7. King d5. Pawn takes g5. Pawn takes g5. Bishop takes g5. Knight c4. Threatening knight takes d6. Pawn e4 played by Nurgaliyev. Threatening pawn takes d3. Rook b3 played by Sankalp Gupta. Knight f6 check. King takes d6. Knight g4. Rook b8 check. King h7. Nurgaliyev wants to play bishop f4 check. King d5. Knight f6 check. King c6. Bishop takes b8 and establish a winning position. King c5 played by Sankalp Gupta. On e3. Nurgaliyev is planning to play on e2. Rook b1. Bishop h4. King b6. Pawn promotes to queen at e1. Rook takes e1. Bishop takes e1 and secure a strong hold in the game. Rook e8 played by Sankalp Gupta. Pawn g6. Pawn takes g6 check. King takes g6. King d4. Knight f6. Threatening knight takes e8. Rook b8 played by Sankalp Gupta. Threatening knight takes e3. Pawn e2 played by Nurgaliyev. Threatening pawn promotes to queen at e1. Rook b1 played by Sankalp Gupta. Sankalp Gupta's idea is to play Rook e1. Knight h5. Rook takes e2 and dominate the board. Bishop h4 played by Nurgaliyev. Knight e5 check. King f5. Knight f3. Bishop f2 check. King d3. Knight e4. Time to think, find the best continuation for Sankalp Gupta. Rook b4 is logical continuation as Knight g3. King d2. Pawn a5. Rook c4. King e6. Knight e1. Sankalp Gupta heading towards winning. Let's proceed to the main game. Sankalp Gupta intends to play King takes e2. Bishop c5. King d3. Knight d7. Rook f1. Bishop b6. Knight d4 check. King g4. King c4, and secure a stronghold in the game. Knight e4 played by Nurgaliyev. Rook c1. Think carefully what is the best move for Nurgaliyev. Knight g3 is logical continuation as Knight d4 check. Bishop takes d4. King takes d4. King f4. On c4. King f3 position is equal. Let's analyze the main game. Rook c1 slightly worse move played by Sankalp Gupta. Threatening king takes e2. King f4 slightly worse move played by Nurgaliyev. Threatening king takes f3. King takes e2 played by Sankalp Gupta. Bishop e3. Threatening bishop takes c1. Rook e1 played by Sankalp Gupta. Bishop f2. Rook a1. Bishop c5. Nurgaliyev might go for Knight g3 check. King d3. King takes f3 and dominate the board. Knight d2 played by Sankalp Gupta. Knight g3 check. King d3. On f5. Rook e1. Sankalp Gupta intends to play Knight b3. Bishop b4. On c3. Bishop d6. Rook e8. Knight e4. Rook a8, and put immense pressure on the opponent. King g4 played by Nurgaliyev. Rook e6. Threatening rook takes a6. On a5 played by Nurgaliyev. Rook a6. Threatening rook takes a5. On f4 played by Nurgaliyev. Rook takes a5. Nurgaliyev saw no escape and decided to resign.